Good morning, Michael Ken and Roxanne Illigan here for the Channel Pie News.
Today we will be looking at alternative medicine. Alternative medicine is defined as any kind of medical therapy that is not regarded as orthodox by the medical profession.
However, there are many debates over the effectiveness of alternative medicine. Some believe that they are effective, and others believe that they aren't. This is what we will be discussing in today's special news report.
Alternative medicines are commonly used by people who believe they work, don't have money for traditional medicines, or have exhausted traditional treatments and are looking for anything else that could work. Alternative medicines are frequently marketed as an effective medicine that can cure and or treat many conditions. Some people believe that this should not be allowed because alternative medicines aren't backed by science, the drugs aren't FDA approved, and they can't actually treat anything.
The first alternative method we will be looking at is homeopathy. Homeopathy is the idea that like treats like, but in very dilute concentrations. By treating a sick person with a dilute concentration of what is making them sick, the sick person should get better if homeopathy works. We are now turning over to Andrew Reminar and Mark Langton to discuss the positives and negatives of this medical therapy.
Homeopathy is a very effective treatment option for a variety of ailments. Homeopathy is based on science that is seen in vaccines. In a vaccine for smallpox, you receive a very small amount of smallpox that your body is able to destroy, and it then learns how to attack smallpox the next time it is infected, which prevents you from getting the disease. Homeopathy is like this in that you take a very small diluted amount of something that is causing you to be sick, and then you will get better because your body is able to recognize it. We create dilutions by taking a small amount of a substance that can make you sick, then diluting it and shaking the solution violently to ensure that the dangerous parts of the original compound are destroyed. Through this process, the water in the solution has a chemical memory that allows the water to remember what substances were previously in it, which allows the highly diluted solutions to work. Many people have told me how it has worked wonderfully for them.
Thank you, Andrew, for your time. That's very interesting information about homeopathy. Now let's hear from Mark Langton to get the other side of the story.
There is no science behind the claims of homeopathy. The idea that likes to treat like cannot be applied to everything. That is like saying that because antibiotics are able to cure some illnesses, then they must be able to cure all illnesses, which isn't true because each antibiotic works only in killing certain types of bacteria. Another problem with homeopathy is that the original compound of the solution is often not found in the final solution. Normally it has been too diluted for any of it to work. The belief that water retains a memory of some sort has no scientific backing. Water is able to retain chemical information for about 1 picosecond before losing that information. That belief that it is able to retain memory for long periods of time disregards current science about chemistry and physics. The only real proof that they have that homeopathy actually works comes from testimonials. These people who give these testimonials experienced a placebo effect and got better only because they thought they were taking actual medicine. By marketing homeopathy as a treatment for any kind of problem, you can stop people who need real medical help from seeking proven medicines and treatments because they are misled into thinking that homeopathic treatments are able to work, and thus it should be condemned. Thank you for your time.
Good to know. Thank you for your time, Mark. We'll return after a brief message from our sponsors.
Are you weak? Do you get picked on at school? Well, we have a solution for you. The Power Equalizer Band uses hologram therapy, a special pseudoscientific practice that can enhance your athletic performance. It does this by resonating and responding to the natural energy field of your body. Let's hear some testimonials from some of our satisfied customers.
Now that I use the Power Equalizer Band, I am filled with energy. I can sit in a chair and read books for hours.
Before I used the Power Equalizer Band, I was really weak and small. But after using the Power Equalizer Band, I became big and strong.
You can get the Power Equalizer Band for the cheap price of $24.99 plus $8.99 shipping and handling. And if you call in the next 10 seconds, we'll throw in a second Power Equalizer Band if you just pay for the shipping and handling. Get yours today.
Welcome back to our special news report on alternative medicine. Herbal remedies have been used since medicine as we know it was created. We've all seen the stereotypical image of a shaman boiling the plants, but let's take a closer look at this issue. Andrew is standing by in support of these backyard drugs.
Thanks, Roxanne. Herbal medicines, known as herbalism, are plant-based medicines that are derived as extracts. They are the compounds within the plants that are typically the equivalent to standard medicines when using the right plant to cure an ailment. Herbal remedies have been used around the world for centuries and are used by a variety of medicinal leaders in local villages where practical medicines would be difficult to gather. It is because of a lack of transportation or funding for mainstream medicines that cheaper plant-based medicines are used. As with any medicine, there can be adverse effects on the patient. However, plant-based medicines are no more dangerous than their capsule-encased counterparts. Back to you, Roxanne.
Very informative. And now we'll hear from Mark, who has been researching the dangers of herbal remedies.
Hi, Roxanne. Though Anna makes a valid point about the cost dilemma that has caused many distant communities to utilize these plant alternatives, there is little scientific research to back up many of these plants' effects. Each plant, depending on its environmental factors, would have different concentrations of these compounds. Though it could be beneficial to the patient, the issue is that it isn't regulated in standard doses like that of practical medicines. Because of this, the plant could overdose a patient, or not work at all. Another issue is that these local medicine men don't have professional training. In producing and distributing medicines, plus their knowledge of indigenous plants, could be incorrect. Standard medicines are created under stringent conditions and undergo years of testing before they reach the public. And those giving out prescription medicines are well educated on what they are giving their patients and the interactions the compounds have with their bodies. Herbal remedy growers, however, don't. This is no matter of whether or not herbal remedies work, but rather whether or not they are safe alternatives for traditional medicine. And on that note, the best medicine is the safest medicine that can get the right results. Herbal remedies can vary in effectiveness, potentially being dangerous, whereas standard medicines give more consistent results and can be better adjusted to the individual needs of the patient. Back to you, Roxanne.
Now we will be looking at acupuncture. Acupuncture, for those who do not know, is a form of alternative medicine that originated in China that involves sticking thin needles into a person's body. Mark and Andrew will elaborate on this issue.
Thank you, Michael. Acupuncture is based on thousands of years of use in China and other East Asian countries. There, they believed the disease occurred when your qi was out of balance due to not living according to the Tao. They believed that the qi flowed through the body in channels called meridians. It is at these meridians that acupuncture is performed in order to balance your qi. Many people who have used acupuncture have said that it has helped pain, infertility, or even diseases. Back to you, Michael.
Thank you, Andrew. Now we'll head over to Mark, who will present his thoughts on acupuncture.
Well, Andrew, the problem with that is, again, there's little real evidence as to the effect of acupuncture. Acupuncture, as you said, does have many years of use behind it, but that means it was developed before an understanding of anatomy and cell theory, the basis of medicine, were developed. In fact, there is no evidence at all for the existence of qi, or meridians. The most logical explanation for any effectiveness would be that it is merely working as a placebo. Additionally, in one study in 2011, they found 38 cases of infection, 42 of trauma, and even 5 deaths. So not only is acupuncture's effectiveness in doubt, but in the wrong hands, it can do more harm than good. Back to you, Roxanne.
Thank you once again, Mark. Although it is a hotly debated topic, we can clearly see that there's little scientific evidence for alternative medicine.
Thank you for joining us here on Channel Pi News. Join us tomorrow for a report on the fashion styles of manatees.